Now on CoastTV News.
Development debate: why thousands of people are asking Sussex County Council to pause the area's growth.
Carbon monoxide leak in an Ocean City hotel. How many people were hospitalized?
Clouds clearing for this weekend and tracking some below average temperatures. Look at how temperatures have dropped just from 24 hours ago.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
A carbon monoxide leak at this hotel. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. We begin tonight with 4 people taken to the hospital with carbon monoxide poisoning.
On your screen now is the Ashore Resort and Beach Club Hotel off Coastal Highway on 101st Street. That's where at least 18 people were evaluated for the deadly gas. CoastTV News reporter Brandon Ferguson is live there in Ocean City. And Brandon, this all started just after 11 this morning.
Maddie, the Ashore was evacuated after a carbon monoxide detector went off, and firefighters say their equipment showed the gas in the air. And on your screen now, we're going to show you what the scene looked like after the building was evacuated. The fire department says building inspectors, the fire marshal's office, and Chesapeake Utilities are on scene investigating the cause of the leak and where it started. CoastTV spoke with one woman who was staying in the hotel at the time of the leak. She gives her first-hand account of this scary situation.
The alarm started screaming, and the voice activation was saying to evacuate, emergency situation. So I have a bum knee that can't walk, so I had to walk down 10 flights of steps, crying because my grandchildren were on another floor, and I didn't know if everybody was out.
Now, this is important to note. A mass casualty incident was declared today for the emergency response here at the Ashore Hotel. Now, a mass casualty incident doesn't mean there are any deaths involved. It means when the patients outweigh the available resources of first responders and not the severity of the patient's injuries. Again, there are 4 people in the hospital right now, and their condition is unknown. And when we went into the hotel and reached out to Chesapeake Utilities for comment, we did not hear back. Stay with us here on CoastTV News as we learn more confirmed information from authorities about what happened here at the Ashore Hotel. Live in Ocean City, Brandon Ferguson, CoastTV News.
Carbon monoxide is an invisible and odorless gas, and when it leaks into a building, it can become deadly and fast. According to the CDC, the biggest risks are things like gas-powered appliances indoors. Think of running a car in a closed garage or generators sitting too close to the home. If you suspect a leak, get out immediately, call 911. Don't try to find the source, just get to fresh air and make sure your home has detectors on every level.
Open land like this is why a lot of locals are proud to call Sussex County home. Just some say they're done, though, with development. CoastTV News reporter Emma Aiken live in Sussex County. And Emma, a local petition is now asking the Sussex County Council for a moratorium on development.
Maddie, take a look behind me. What you see is more housing going up, more development being added to Sussex County. And if you drive around Delmarva, it's a scene you'll see over and over again, which is good news if you're moving here or the construction industry. But if you already live here, it creates a different feeling. Julie Morris is frustrated by the speed of growth here on the coast.
It's really devastating. It's really sad.
And apparently so are another 2,200 people who have all signed her petition, asking Sussex County Council to put a 1-year moratorium on development.
People always say to me, oh, it's just too far gone. Why? What's the point? It's never too far gone until the land is in the water, right? Like, it's not too far gone.
In her petition, Morris cites concerns about the environment, preservation of farmland, and overburdened infrastructure. She wants the council to make change.
They're not doing enough fast enough. Like, we could do the moratorium like that, and then you can spend the next year figuring out what you want to do to change the zoning.
We did reach out to Sussex County Council, who say they are aware of the petition, but they don't have any plans to put it on the agenda. And they say they're already working to address growth through the Land Use Working Group. Councilman Matt Lloyd previously called for a moratorium on development in agricultural zones. He says now it's up to the Land Use Working Group, but depending on their recommendations, after that, nothing's off the table.
We'll give it till September if we don't see substantive changes by then or good recommendations that we can latch onto that I think will help us build in a more predictable, sustainable way that's going to get us the workforce housing that we need, but stop the high-end homes in the farmland that's pushing out the farmers and consuming so much of our natural resources, then that's what I'll do. And I would, like I say, all options would be on the table for me.
For now, concerns are growing over a growing Sussex County. And again, the Sussex County Council says they do not have any current plans to put this moratorium on the agenda, but those first few working group recommendations are expected to be drafted into ordinances in the next couple of months. Reporting live in Sussex County, Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
And we're taking a live look into Dover. That looks like some gray skies, gang, as we check in with our first alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams. Paul, what are you expecting as we head into the weekend?
Well, first of all, it shouldn't stay gray all day, okay? I didn't mean to make that rhyme, it just worked out that way. But we are indeed dealing with overcast conditions in Dover. We'll drop down to the lower 70s, so we have cooler weather on the way. Look at the temperature change. From just yesterday, we are 17 degrees cooler now than we were just 24 hours ago. So we're talking temperatures at 69 degrees in Rehoboth, as well as Millsboro, Redden, and in Seaford. So it's cool across the board. And the dew point temperatures are in the 60s, so that helps out. But overall, we are seeing that we have, the only concern is going to possibly a rip current concern along the beaches. But aside from that, we're going to stay pretty tranquil over the weekend, and we're going to stay pretty cool as well. Regionally speaking, we're staying cloudy for today, but we'll clear out. Here's a look what we're expecting for later on this evening. We'll have more on this cool weekend coming up in a moment. Till then, back to you.
Paul, thank you. In Ocean City, surfers had some restrictions today. They had to follow a few rules like wearing a leash, staying at least 50 yards from swimmers, and always giving swimmers the right of way. Skimboards and other things like kayaks and kite surfers were banned.
Delaware's recreational cannabis market is now open for business. Starting today, anyone 21 and older can legally buy marijuana from licensed shops. The state legalized recreational use all the way back in 2023 and awarded 125 licenses through a lottery last year. For now, a select group of medical marijuana compassion centers are leading the rollout. Industry leaders say patients who rely on medical marijuana will remain the top priority.
We can't wait. I mean, we've been doing this for quite some time with our medical community, and we're not losing sight of the medical community. They still take preference, and we prioritize them when they come here. We don't want them waiting in long lines. But this is an exciting time.
There are currently 11 marijuana dispensaries selling recreationally in Delaware. And this brings us right into our Coast TV poll. We want to know, how often do you plan to use marijuana now that it's legal?
Let's take a look at the results so far. Well, 73% of voters say never. The 14% say they already used it. 9% say occasionally. 4% say daily.
And we'll see if these numbers change throughout the evening. If you want to vote, you can go to coasttv.com or use our mobile app. Also, you can leave us a comment.
President Trump has finalized the multitude of high-level tariffs and trade deals he announced in recent weeks. With an executive order, Trump formalized trade agreements with key partners like the EU, Japan, South Korea, the UK, and the Philippines. The order came just before a self-imposed deadline. It also sets tariff rates for countries who had not yet come to an agreement.
In a social media post today, President Donald Trump issued a response to aggressive remarks made by the former president of Russia. Trump said he's ordered 2 nuclear submarines to be moved to strategic areas in case of an attack. The announcement comes after the former president of Russia made comments about Russia having Soviet-era nuclear strike resources. His statement was in response to Trump telling the former Russian president to, quote, watch his words.
Starting today, millions of student loan borrowers will see interest start accruing again. This comes after the Education Department halted loan cancellation for some income-based repayment plans. Lee Waldman breaks down what this means for everyday borrowers.
Attention student loan borrowers enrolled in the SAVE plan. On August 1st, the Department of Education will resume charging interest on your loans.
The SAVE plan, introduced under former President Joe Biden's administration, lowers monthly payments and shortens the time it takes to receive student loan forgiveness based on enrollees' income. Now that plan and the 8 million or so borrowers who utilized it are in for some changes.
This plan has been tied up in litigation, and the Trump administration decided, without ever being forced by a court, to start interest charges for those borrowers.
Last year, federal judges in Kansas and Missouri blocked key parts of the SAVE plan. Following those court's decisions, SAVE borrowers were placed in no-interest forbearance, with payments paused and balances frozen since last summer. Today, interest will start to accrue again.
Once payments start, we expect they're going to pay about $5,000 more per year, including those interest charges, once they actually have to start making payments.
Mike Pierce, head of the Student Borrower Protection Center, says deciding what to do next is up to individuals, starting payments now or continue with forbearance. But either way, their balances will increase, causing stress for borrowers like medical resident Bronte Rumsick.
I've spent my entire 20s in school, and so now in my 30s and as a young professional, I would love to have a life. The financial walls just feel like they're crushing down around me when I thought graduating medical school was the big win.
In New York, I'm Lee Waldman reporting.
Coming up, millions of ocean acres pulled up from wind energy projects, including right off our coast. How it could impact energy and jobs along the Atlantic. Stay tuned on Coast TV News at 5.
Weekend skies brighten as clouds are clearing, tracking some below average temperatures coming up.
And coming up, a fresh batch of cool things to do to keep summer rolling. Stay with us.
We have only about a month of summer left, but it's not too late to enjoy the fun and flavor Delmarva has to offer.
Here is Coast TV's Christina DeRobertis with your cool things to do this weekend.
This week, we're going to dive right in, literally, with a Southern Delaware delicacy because Oyster Week is back. Starting Sunday, August 3rd until August 7th, you can taste your way through the coast with locally grown oysters, and it's not just a food fest. This week highlights sustainable farming and those who keep our bays healthy and delicious. Also happening, Rehoboth's signature summer art show returns for its 52nd year. The outdoor fine art and craft show runs both weekend days, featuring more than 100 artists, live music, food, and a Dogfish Head beer garden. More peaches this weekend, this time in Kent County. The annual Peach Festival returns to Wyoming Saturday from 9 to 3. And if you're still in a pony state of mind, the Chincoteague Fireman's Carnival keeps the fun going through Saturday from 7 to 11 p.m. Or you can get a new pet this weekend. The Brandywine Valley SPCA is hosting an adoption event in Rehoboth. It's happening Saturday from 10 to 3 at the Petco on Coastal Highway. You can head to coasttv.com and click on Cool Things to Do for event details, tickets, and more.
Well, true to form to the forecast, we've stayed drizzly, gray, overcast, and all that kind of stuff, just kind of damp all day long. And we're going to stay that way for tonight, but it's going to be much cooler as we go into the weekend. Our gutter helmet camera, ocean view, 70 degrees. Winds picking up a bit. We just had a small craft advisory allowed to expire, but it's still a bit breezy along the beaches. 71 is where we end up by 8 o'clock with partly cloudy skies. Reviewing the month of July, listen, we had about 16 days above normal. That's the red days you see. 15 days below normal, so it was kind of half and half, to be quite honest. But as far as the precipitation is concerned, listen, we had a tremendous amount of precipitation, really average. We actually had over 3 inches beyond our normal rainfall total for this month. And for the year, we're already beyond 5 1/4 normal pacing for the rain thus far. So unlike last year, at the end of last year, we're far away from any kind of drought situation right now. 68 in Georgetown currently. We're at 69 in Millsboro, Gumboro, as well as Dagsboro. With the winds right now that they're coming out of the north, that will reinforce that cool feel we have in the air. A bit of an uncomfortable breeze right now at the Indian River Inlet with 26 miles per hour. Another reason why we're going to feel so much cooler, we have drier air that's making its way from the north to the south. You see, we're at 60s right now with our dew point temperatures, but the 40s are on the way, and that's a much drier pocket of air. Hence, the muggy meter will be a little more cooperative. In fact, we're going to stay in the comfy zone for the next 4 days in a row, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, till we go back to being humid by next Wednesday. We do have a small craft advisory that's active, looking for gusty winds, and we've had one small craft advisory that's expired, but another one that's been reinitiated. So we're watching out for about 25 mile per hour wind gusts. So it's a bit choppy there. One other thing, We have a newly issued rip current statement that's in effect for Dewey Beach, Rehoboth, Lewis, Ocean View, down towards Fenwick Island. This means that we're looking at these dangerous rip currents. Now remember, rip currents can pull you deeper out into the water than you anticipate. So you have to be mindful of that because it pulls you out deeper out into the water. And ironically enough, this is actually the same thing that actually took Malcolm Jamal Warner, the famous actor from the Cosby Show. He was killed because he was taken out too deep because of rip currents. So don't fight the current, swim parallel to the shore. If you can't escape, float, tread water, and ask and wave for help, and wear bright colored suits so they can see you. All right? Better yet, don't go out. That'll be even better. So live radar, we're cloudy for right now, and we're staying relatively docile. We are looking for high pressure to take over our area. We're looking for overnight lows to stay in the 60s, and for the storyline, sunny over the weekend, dry and pleasant for the early week. And we take a look at the highs for tomorrow, 80 for the high in Georgetown, 82 in Cambridge, and we're anticipating 79 for us actually in Berlin. Along the coast for Saturday, we are going to stay in the 70s and 80s with winds out of the northeast, a bit blustery. For the coast, 78, inland 80, eastern shore 82. So Saturday, we're into the mid 70s. Then on Sunday, we're looking for the 70s as well and 60s. So we're looking pretty cooperative there. Dew point temperatures are going to start drying out as well. So we're going to have less in the way of problems there. Our rain chances stay diminishing, and we're looking for it to clear out for us Friday going into Saturday. And so as we take a look, I'm sorry about that. Didn't mean to show all of this, but here we go. Ocean City temperatures in the 70s. And then we're looking for Lewis to clear out for us with temperatures in the 80s. So for tonight, 65, 80 for tomorrow, 81 for Sunday. And finally, here's a look at your 7-day forecast.
Paul, thank you. Wind energy projects are being blown away by the Trump administration. On Wednesday, the Interior's Department of Bureau of Ocean Energy Management said it was rescinding large sections of ocean that were going to be used for offshore wind. This new move impacts nearly 4 million acres of federal waters, including areas off the West Coast and here in the Central Atlantic. Not clear what immediate effect this would have on planned wind farms for Delmarva, which are the subject of ongoing lawsuits right now.
Coming up, AI is now part of the college admissions process, sparking a new debate. Some say it'll speed things up, others worry machines shouldn't have a say on who gets into college. Stay tuned on CoastTV News at 5.
Virginia Tech announced plans to incorporate artificial intelligence into its admissions process starting today.
Ethan Ellis says the college is aiming to enhance efficiency while also maintaining human oversight in application reviews.
Virginia Tech says this AI will help them streamline their admissions process for the cycle that starts on August 1st. As Virginia Tech receives more applications each year, officials are turning to alternative methods to help process more applications in less time. Their newest innovation? Artificial intelligence.
Virginia Tech is turning to AI as a tool to help people make better informed, fair, and consistent decisions in the application process.
The school plans to use AI to help humans grade application essays. The essays typically graded by 2 humans will now be graded by 1 human with the help of AI.
AI is a tool that people are using to ensure that our process actually is consistent, fair, and beneficial.
Ozarski hopes by doing this, applicants can get their admissions decisions faster, stressing they won't eliminate the human element of the process anytime soon.
Admissions is a human process. AI is a tool. It's a tool that people can use to help us, for example, manage a process.
But some students are skeptical of the process.
And I think having a person actually read that, even if it is time consuming, it does add that element of like understanding a person.
Fellow Virginia Tech student Giovanni Mantovani agrees.
I think this kind of process, like admission, we should take it personally, like one by one.
And now here's a live look into Laurel. One more check at the forecast coming up after the break.
Our active pest solutions mosquito meter indicating moderate amount of mosquito activity expected. Lisa Laudenslayer of Millsboro, you're our umbrella giveaway winner. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, sponsored by the law offices of Bruckstead, Mandalis, and Federico. The number to call is 443-880-9100. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. Cooler over the weekend with temperatures dropping into the 60s overnight.
All right, Paul, thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.